Good afternoon, everybody, here from a cold and windy and rainy Perth. So unusual. In fact, today, of all days, it's going to be absolutely incredible, apparently. So far, it's just been wild and wonderful. They're expecting winds of up to 130 kilometers per hour. So I've been hoping and praying that we've got power during the class. But anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome to all the guys and gals that are on YouTube. As I wrote in a little message to you, you're all more than welcome to join E2 Language. It's for free. You can just sign up. Just go on to e2language.com, and then you can write in our webinar chat line with Zoom, and I can then contact and talk to you. But we've got lots of people. There we are, Zoe. Nice to have you with us today, and Jenny. Hi, and hi everybody. Yes, if you'd like to chat sort of with everybody, use all panelists and attendees, and then we can share things. Yeah, you can talk to each other. If you're looking for a speaking partner, you can swap emails and things like that. So it's part of the connection. Yes, I like to think. Oh, Yvette, I've got a lovely friend, Yvette. Nice to have you with us. Actually, she's a twin and her sister is Yvonne. So Yvonne and Yvette. So are you on the Gold Coast? Nikita, hi. Wow, it's coming in too fast for me. Help, 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 help. Lindsay, guys, please. I hope you don't be mean. I don't think I'm being mean, and I haven't spoken to everybody. Manila, hi, Nikita, Sri Lima, Ahmed, Lindsay, Trina, Joanna. Apparently, even in the UK, I was just had a student there. It's pretty cold, miserable there also. So that's summer for you. Yes, Elizabeth, hi, darling. Glory, lovely to have you with us. Jenny Yardley, always welcome, and Gloria and Lai. Maureen, hi, and hello everybody else. Yes, Aid, let's go back. And Rosemary, nice to have you with us. Kazi, Rose, Joanna. Guys, raising your hand, I really don't have time to watch anything or apart from the chat line. So any questions, any greetings, please just say a hi on the chat line. Mark, Rosca, beautiful. Marilla, well, I was going to say Marillabone. Anyway, Mare, I'm going to stop there. And Galaxy 9S9. Hi. Oh, Jashan, lovely to have you there. Guys, let's get going. We've got a busy day today. Now, this is the last of our series of 10 writing classes. So if you've been with me for the whole 10, next week we're going to go back to the beginning again. So don't moan and groan, just join me, because always there's something going on, something different, and you might have missed out on something last time you watched it. Definitely, you're going to be much more advanced now than you were 10 weeks ago. So good news about the power package. It's very popular. We've got it's an ongoing thing. So you get, I think, $75, a 4-week study plan, unlimited live classes. You get a speaking and a writing assessment and mock test with feedbacks. Absolutely brilliant value. Now, every week we've got the challenge. Today is the last day of the challenge, and I've been very busy doing mini mock tests with people all day and their speaking part. I'm sure my colleagues have been madly correcting writing tasks too. We've got till midnight tonight. I presume wherever you are, and there is chance of 3 winners would win a $50 Mastercard voucher. And of course, that is redeemable online with extra things that you might want to purchase. Yes. So you can't be in it unless you're in it. Let's say you're going to do it. So if you've got your mini mock test, you are on the power package, make sure and it's too late to book, unfortunately. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Just when you're ready, do it, everybody. Other ways of preparing, we've got the writing, 2 writing tasks in the writing intensive. As usual, high quality exam-like cases, comprehensive score report, and the teacher feedback. Okay, so that is all done. You can learn a lot that way, but more, and you know, the top way of learning, of course, is combining all that with a tutorial. One with a package of 1, 2, or 3. You get writing assessments. It's your time with the tutor, one-on-one. We often discuss your writing assessment. We often practice speaking. We sometimes go through listening and reading, whatever you want. It's your turn and your time to, you know, really get to the bottom of any issues you have with any part of the exam. So well worth it. And with all the packages, you get the mini mock test included for free. So well worth doing that. If you've got it with your other thing, with your power package, or if you want to just do it independently, a really great way of basically, for me, the final rundown before the exam. So 2 weeks, 10 days before the exam, off you go. You've got the writing feedback, you've got reading and listening with comments, and then you've got the mock speaking exam, which we do with you. So you can book them whenever you like. So lots of things going on there. Now, today, of course, we're going to have our English quiz about grammar. Oh, just see there's a lot of things on the chat. Oh, I'm glad you're talking to each other. Unfortunately, Riser Power Package is only for the new kids on the block. All right, I'm so happy everybody's swapping information. Beautiful. Wing, good evening. Yes. Yes, I'm sorry about that, everybody. But please, you communicate with each other and work out, you know, speaking and all that sort of stuff. We've got speaking tasks on our website. There are more on the OET website, of course. So this, you know, you can get, and of course, some people buy the OET books. So you've got another 3 writing tasks. That one is for doctors, but it's the blue one for nurses. You can buy them as a book from Amazon, or you can buy them also electronically, again from Amazon, and just download it and you have the information there. You can print it out. So plenty of authentic material, and this is what you need to focus on. Yes. So it's well worth it. It's not even expensive. What are the cheap things in OET, really, the book? So now, and don't forget the OET blog with Rebecca going through step by step, not the blog, the YouTube channel. Very, very interesting. She goes through every type of writing task for different, you know, people. Go back, watch it. You can watch not only the nurses ones, but the doctors, for anything. And you can see how her brain works, how she works out, and then, you know, produces the writing. So it's a really interesting and well worth thing. At least do the nursing one. Okay, so we're going to test our English with our grammar, of course. We're going to learn the method for completing the writing task. We're going to analyze, as always, the task, all those details that we need to have very clearly in our brain. And to do that, and with them clearly in our brain, we can select then the relevant case notes with a big relevant. We need to plan the writing, get a bit of a plan organized. We're going to write the start of the letter, which of course is standard, so get it right. Today we're going to focus on the main issue paragraph, which is sort of really the beginning of the story. So great, very important paragraph. We're going to look then at our model letter. As I said, it's a model letter. There's plenty of other options. Check out some of the criteria, and we're going to complete a quiz today about that. And that's the criteria is focused on some grammar today. Okay, now let's get a quick idea with our grammar. For those who've heard it before, I'm going to say it again. We've got our simple present, which we use when we want to make statements or talk about something that's true. It's also used when something is done regularly, and we need to mention that. We don't use any other tense, so we use, you know, he always does something, he never does something, or he sometimes does something, always in the simple present. Whereas the present continuous is for what's going on now. All right, so two ideas there. We've got what's going on as we're speaking. Let's say we are having a live class, but it also mentions, talks about something that's happening at this time, which is temporary. For example, Miss Adams is currently receiving something. So it's not perhaps as we speak, but it's around this time. I have done the present perfect, something that has happened in the past. We don't know when, we just know that it's happened. Also something that's happened in the past and also has an effect on a situation today. So Miss Smith has been treated. So we know it's happened, but we don't know when. Now, if we want to focus on how long it's been going on, or the fact that it's been going on regularly, we can use the present perfect continuous. So we should really complete this with Miss Tran has been undertaking therapy for 2 weeks or since last month. So there's the time element. Or she's been undertaking treatment every day this week. So we're focusing on that repetition. Okay, so that's why we use that one rather than the other one. And then we've got the simple past, I did, I didn't. When we talk about something, of course, in the past, as it says, but we know when, we mention when, or it's understandable. Mr. Jones was admitted to St. Andrews 2 weeks after his operation. So there we are, we know when. And of course, that's the passive voice. So this one has been treated, was admitted, both passive voice. This one has the same, has been doing something, but it's not passive voice. Okay, so it's present perfect continuous. I want to have a look now at the quiz. Now, 45 seconds only, so I won't get rid of myself. I will open the chat line. Thanks, Fraser. And oh, thank you, Joanne. Oh, come on, everybody. Thanks, Gloria. Yes. So now, everybody, back to business. I am very happy to see your choices. What would you choose in each one? Well done. Thank you, Rosca. Well done. Yes, Emilia. Thank you. Sri Lima. Don't look at everybody else. Just do your own thing. Thank you, Rosca. Running ahead there. Oh, and Wing, that's a good idea. Yes, thank you. And Daisy. Oh, hi, Daisy. Buenaventura. Oh, that should be my surname. Lots of adventures. Was that? Very short time. Oh, Yardley. Well done. Beautiful. Thank you, Marie Louisa. Beautiful too. And Sunbeam. What a name. Beautiful. Now that was a hard one. Yes. Jenny, well done. Thanks, everybody. It's always good to take part. Please don't sit in the waiting room if you haven't made an appointment. You see, something that's happened in the past, we don't say when. It doesn't say you have to make an appointment a week earlier. So if you haven't made an appointment, just the fact that you've made it, or in this case, haven't. The afternoons get busy at the clinic, so it's best to call ahead. We're just using the simple infinitive, nothing else. It's best to do something. Chloe was trying to get pregnant for 3 years before she came to the clinic. Okay, we could use Chloe tried, but what we've got here is that it was for 3 years, and that 3-year period has finished. So we have to use either one or the other past tense. Okay, we can't use Chloe has tried. Okay, because we've got, she came to the clinic and this happened before that even. Okay, so she was trying for 3 years, she tried for 3 years, both are okay. We haven't got that option. If her blood pressure goes down any further, we'll have to call the consultant. Of course, in a situation like this, it's the simple first conditional, where we have the simple present together with will. All right, for those who want to have a go at that. Thanks everybody for continually sending messages through. He's still drowsy because of the anesthesia, but let me know if anything changes. Again, here we've got, well, yes, let me know if anything changes. So it's a zero conditional for those who know, both in the simple present. Well, Mr. Cohen's condition is what? Is getting worse. Now, that's an interesting use of the present continuous. We use it when things are in motion, let's say, when things are changing. And we use it, I'm getting better, very often with better. I'm getting better. I'm putting on weight. I'm losing weight. So we use the present continuous for that idea that the situation is getting better, it's getting worse, it's changing. So just another use of the present continuous that we use quite often in English. Good. Now, let's have a quick overview of our writing test today, as always. First thing, read and analyze that task. Extract all the information you can from it. Then we need to read and analyze the case notes. Things like the discharge plan and all the notes there. I always go for that first. It gives me a bit of an idea of what our final product is, what we finally want that person to do for us. We've got to think also who we are, what sort of role we play. Sort of gives us an idea too. And then we go and look at the case notes, of course. The letters are of referral, discharge, or transfer. Only those 3 types of letters, luckily. It has changed since the old days. So if you've got old material of different types of letters, just discard them, because you're never going to have a letter like that. All right, it's only going to be those 3. I mean, you can use them just for you know, picking out notes and relevant information if you want as an exercise, but we don't have to write anything other than those 3. So we've got those 5 minutes where you have to sit and read and focus on who we're going to write to and what action we want them to take. Then we need to read the case notes. You should be able to do that a couple of times. Based on who we're writing to and what we want them to do, we need to understand the key facts about the patient's condition and other information that is going to help us relay our information to our reader. We use headings and subheadings as a guide because that keeps it all nice and organized. And then we identify relevant information and decide if it's highly relevant or quite relevant, and of course, irrelevant. Today, we're going to be focusing on that main issue. So that's going to go, that highly relevant information should be going there. Sometimes it's based on other things like chronology, different appointments and stuff. So there isn't ever a key way, but we just got to think which things really stand out. When we do our writing, we need at least 5 paragraphs, even 6, 7, well, 5 to 6, I think, better than 3 to 5 for sure, because they need to be short. Each paragraph has to have one main idea. We should be up to 35 minutes by then, and then you've got 5 minutes to have a look over your writing and always focus on where your weakness, your own personal weaknesses are. So let's talk about our reading time again and analysing the task. Who are we writing to? What action should they take, or do we want them to take, really? What key information they need as background information to be able to follow through with what we want them to do, and what prior knowledge, if any, they have of that patient. So when we read the case notes, we've got to think which ones are relevant to our reader and to the situation, which ones are mentioned more than once, and then we're going to need to sort of group them in one sentence or bring them together. And of course, which things need to be discarded and completely forgotten. Okay, so here is our task today. We're writing to, it's a transfer letter, okay, and interesting. So they've been with us and then unfortunately going somewhere else. So who am I writing to? What is their job? What is their name? What action do I want the reader to take? What does the reader need to know? And what does the reader already know about our patient? Interesting. So let's have a go. You've got a minute. Open the chat line too. More than happy. So when's it? First one thing. It said for the last 3 years. Let's try it. You could win. But I think it's in the rest of the sentence is in the past tense. So she had tried before she came here. Oh, I love that, Marilyn. Who, what, where? Beautiful. Very nicely thought about. Okay, yeah. Today we don't have a name. So we can think about how we're going to address our person. Thanks, Marie-Louisa. Very nice. I mean, we've only got the beginning at the beginning. Thank you, Rosca. That is one way, definitely. We've only focused really on that little task, which is your first impression, really. And, you know, that first impression is very important. I'll just get myself back again so we can actually talk to you. Yes, it's a bit dark. Anyway, so that's best I can do as far as lighting goes. So who am I writing to? Yes, the oncologist. Yeah, we don't have his name, so we've got to think about how we can address him. We'll talk about that in a moment. What action do I want the reader to take? Well, to take over the management, really. Of course, it's a transfer, and you know, and of course, to treat him immediately. What does the reader need to know? Well, definitely what's going on with that patient, then the history of that patient. Yeah. Does he know anything already? No doubt. Absolutely no. Doesn't know anything yet, for sure. Now, let's look at our case notes, the ones that are relevant for our situation, for that transfer letter, to focus, you know, to discuss, to pass over information to that oncologist and probably the team there also. So which things are relevant, which things are repeated, and which things, of course, are not relevant. Now, it really is important that we include the key information and that we don't miss out any important details. It is a big skill, and it's one you need to practice and keep on practicing where to draw the line. I always feel that there are a couple of, you know, secondary notes that might be important, that you might feel relevant, that will sort of slip by. But, you know, there are key ones. So we often have discussions about which ones should stay, which ones should go. But we've got to be very serious also about the ones that are irrelevant, that it's not needed in that letter. Don't forget, we've got a letter. The patient is going to be seeing that specialist, or in this case, going to that place. They will be able to ask him various things, but we want that important information to go through in that introductory, or in this case, transfer letter. All right, so I'm going to give you a nice 5 minutes. I will have the chat line open, so ready to listen to anybody or read everybody's opinion. There we go. I'll erase that. Good. Yes. So, what do we need? so that our oncologist can look after our poor old Mr. Bruce Brew, 36 years old only. It's a bit of a sad one, this one. Anyway. What are you going to tell him when you send Mr. Bruce Brew off into his care? Definitely, in the patient's history. Yes, what's been going on? Where are we? As the Americans say, where are we at? Where are we at with this patient? Thanks everybody on YouTube for having a go too. I am reading them. I just can't comment on them. Yeah. So think about next week. There's live classes absolutely every day. The free ones you can always do. I can always you can always you know, join for free and then watch those live classes, the free ones. So as I said, there's one every day at various times. So the list is available on the E2 Language website. Good. Thanks everybody. And another thing about your preparation, which I think is so important, you know that the OET exam is pretty expensive. So your best investment, of course, is in your preparation. And the better prepared you are, the more likely you are of passing the exam. So it's much better to, you know, pay a little bit of money up front. There's things that for every budget, and go into the exam feeling confident, feeling that you will be able to pass it because you've done the work. You know, so think about it. It's, if you've got time ahead of you, you know, join us for free and then go from there. Really, it's always up to you, your budget, your time, and all those things. Thanks, Wing. Yes, lots of details there. Thank you very much. Definitely, I've forgotten the Galaxy S9. I've got the same phone as you, actually. Forgotten your name now. I know you mentioned it before. Manolin. Wow. Well done. Thank you, everybody. Maria Louisa. Beautiful. And Yardley. Fantastic information. Yes, all those things that you've mentioned. I haven't seen anything irrelevant yet. Good. There's a lot, actually. So we're going to have to be very careful how we put it. Very efficient. That's what they want. They want you to be efficient. They want you to be concise, to put it in the best way possible. Nothing fancy, definitely not. Good. Nothing fancy, as I was saying, but, you know, well written, and otherwise you're not going to be within the, you know, the line, I say within the budget, within the word budget. Let's call it budget for want of something else. Okay, I'm going to share both of them, the relevant information and the repeated. So we've got his name, of course, the admission dates, okay, the reason for transfer. Okay, so that's mentioned again, the fact that he's got cancer, that he needs further evaluation, that's further down here, about all those sorts of things. So we don't need all these little details here. Really, we need to talk about what we saw when we first saw him, what he told us about that diagnosis when he first came in. Other details, of course, the fact that he has a very low BMI and you know, his body things there and anything like that. But those sorts of details, I mean, they will be transferred. His medical history with all those details, they will be transferred through the system today, how it works. But in the letter, we don't need to go to that extreme. Other complaints which are around it, the fact that he's had gastric reflux, weight loss, weakness, they're all part of his whole package, let's say. Yes, because he's drinking 60, he drinks 60 cans of beer per week, does need to be mentioned because, of course, and then the fact that he's been having heartburn and it's treated just with the OTC, the over-the-counter medication. He's been doing that since 21. Family history of cancer, and it's close by, it's the stomach. The patient management, those days, that 7th and 8th of July, you did all those tests and you've attached the results. So the medication, because that needs to, they need to continue doing that. And that, yeah, he's going to be transferred by the Seymour Ambulance Service. So they are ready and waiting. Okay, he's going to the Smithfield Cancer Centre. Further tests and treatment are urgent. Okay, so quite an easy to manage one today, not a huge amount of material. And as we say every week, you need to be flexible and you need to think what organization, what type of letter, or how you're going to fix it. Each time it is different. There is no set plan. So we're going to start off, which is great. Apart from the introduction, we're going to work with our main issue today. So we don't need to load it up with everything. We've got to always think, okay, that's I'm going to put first, but I'm going to have another paragraph talking about X, another paragraph talking about Y issues. And so it's very nicely balanced, let's say. So that side, we have to be completely, let's say, different each time. Well, not say completely, but different. But the address, the center of all that is pretty standard. So get it right. It's really important. We need to talk about then, we've taken the notes, we need to decide in general how many paragraphs we're going to use and what is going to go in there. So that's our plan. It's well worth doing that. And then we need to write, always checking the relevance. Are we staying close to the relevant information? Are we prioritizing the most important and then other things? And then leave a few minutes to check your work. Okay, so here we've got the story. We've got the way we set it all out, the title and the full name of our recipient. Okay, so we don't have that much today. Well, his title, so that's all we've got. So we're going to miss that first line, we're going to go straight there, and the address. Okay, remember, no punctuation. Then we've got the date. Then we've got the about the patient. We need the full title, the full name, either the age or the date of birth, whatever you are given. And then, well, here we've got a different type of salutation today. And then, of course, we've got the end, yours sincerely. So we've got here, we've got our patient, Mr. Bruce Brew, and he's 36 years old. So a short 90 seconds, which should be enough because it's something we've done quite a few times. Oh, thank you, Athira. Thank you very much for that. Sometimes I get some good ideas. Anyway, Maureen, lovely. So come on, everybody. Keep going. Yes. Yes. Do we put oncologist or the oncologist? Interesting, eh? Because, yeah. I got an in the sample for it. Oh, they haven't put it, yes. I'll tell you why. Oh, I like where you put Madam, Sir. Is that what's happening today? Oh dear. It's usually Sir, Madam, but I'm sure they can't say anything about it. Of course. Yes. So, careful about capitals everywhere. If it's, in capitals on the task, make sure you keep them there. Yeah, very important, really. Good. Thanks, Lindsay. Oh, gorgeous. All righty. Lovely wing. Really, really nice. So, guys, let's have a look at what we've got here. Thank you, everybody there. So, we've just got oncologist. Now, you can put the oncologist, but when we put the oncologist, it's as though there's only one. So, using oncologist, it's a cancer center. There's going to be quite a few. So, probably better without the, although I'm sure there is absolutely no problem with the oncologist either. So we've got the address, all those capitals. You see, no commas or anything. We've got the day of the exam. It always comes out like that. Now that can be here, it can be below. Mr. Bruce Brew, age 36, 36 years old, age 36 years. They're pretty flexible. Dear Sir, Madam, dear oncologist, or dear doctor is a very good one. Dear doctor. So you've got that option. Dear Sir, Madam, dear oncologist, dear doctor. And yours sincerely, we do also, of course, they do accept yours faithfully, which was the more formal way. If we don't know their names, there's that combination. But today, they're a little bit less formal, and they do accept yours sincerely at all times. So the necessity for yours faithfully, as it was, say, 10 years ago, is not, even probably 5 years ago, isn't that necessary anymore. Okay, so, but you can use dear doctor and all that stuff. Lovely, Sheila. Thank you for that. Yep, perfect. So we're going to move on and decide how many paragraphs we're going to write and what's going to go into each one. So we've got that main issue today. What is the key information the recipient needs in our letter? Okay, all about it. All about our lovely patient and, what we can do for him. So we need to have a good, strong basis in our letter, in that discharge letter, transfer letter, so we can pick it up. Yes, Joanna's saying it's hard for her to plan how many paragraphs. Go for 5, all right? So we've got the introduction, we've got the purpose, and we've got the request. Go for 3 other ones, but don't hesitate to have an extra one if necessary, because we want something that's not all blocked up. Oh, look at me chit-chatting here. And, we need white space. We need for it to be easily read. Okay. Jilu, lovely. The idea of the urgent. Stay there, everybody. I'm just going to feed my cat who is scratching on the door. I should be back in 1 second. Oh. Good, I'm back. Sorry about that, everybody. She usually is very good and she'll wait till the end of the class, but today must be the weather. It's got her hungry. Okay, Yardley, you've already started off. Well, that's the introduction. Yeah. Okay. I think it would be a good idea also. Yeah. Sort of try and mention the idea of transfer. It's not always necessary, but sometimes it does help. So these are my planning notes for our main issue. Well, not mine. Our lovely Brad's. Yes. So there he is. We've got his name, of course. We've got his the admission dates. Very important that, because that's, you know, explaining the story. The admission diagnosis. So difficulty swallowing for the last 4 months. Intense gnawing pain immediately below the sternum. Appearance: pale, malnourished, and distressed. A BMI of 18.5. Other complaints: weight loss 10 kilos in the past 6 to 12 months, 6 months, 6 of 12, 6 months, and of course the weakness was in his daily activities. Alrighty, not unusual, is it? So let's write it. Any connectors we might need, and also in addition, as well as, think about tenses. He was admitted, has had, was diagnosed with, reported, is experiencing, is concerned, now has. Some good verbs there, some good phrases, not only for this letter, but for any letter that you might be writing. Yes. So let's have a go, everybody. The main paragraph. Now, do you think we're going to need 5 minutes? Well, yes, I think we do, because it's all about getting it connected well, organized well, grouped together nicely. Don't overdo the connected. You don't have to have one whole sentence. Much better to have 3 or 4 sentences, even if necessary. But don't feel that stress. I've got to put it all in one. No? Okay, Lindsay. You need, as you after Mr. Blue, we don't need a comma, Lindsay. But I would make a full stop after cancer and put he requires, okay. I don't think we need to talk about the discharge. It's obvious. Just leave it at that. This is not a discharge letter. I mean, I know you could put it further down. We talk about the ambulance if necessary. So the first paragraph, Jilu, I'll show you in a sec. They've got it very short and sweet in this one, very minimalistic. You can write it. Other people have written, well, we are going for the main paragraph today, that main issue paragraph. But if anybody wants to write also the introduction, the purpose paragraph, I will read it. Make sure you don't enter words like refer, because we're not referring them, we're transferring them. Yes, that was Anne Hathaway from YouTube. Yes. Wing, with a pale, malnourished and weakness. Oh, well, no, you can, no, because it's not a weakness appearance. So if you're going to group things, Wing, make sure you group them correctly. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It does take 5 minutes to get it grouped correctly when you've got a lot of things. Otherwise, it's not bad at all. Or Roscoe. With difficulty swallowing, Roscoe, not infinitive. Difficulty takes ing in English. Few things there also. Not for the last 6 months, Roscoe. We would say over the last 6 months or in the last 6 months. The therefore doesn't really fit. I would put and now has. Okay, and now has, because therefore means well, therefore, but it's not really the correct word there. Thanks everybody on YouTube for working so hard. I do appreciate it. Sorry I can't help you all. Join us next week and I'll be able to give you lots of comments. Yay. Not bad at all. Okay. Right. I don't think I would use the word discharge. You know, when you think of the word discharge, it sort of makes you feel that someone's okay. So, you know, he's being transferred. Discharge means getting out. And that's why a discharge is very different to a transfer. So be careful. If you've got a transfer, try to avoid using refer and avoid using discharge. Okay, because he's being transferred on this day. Okay. Not for diagnosis, comma, with the diagnosis. This is not for the diagnosis. He already had it. See? Nice one, though. The rest was good. Maureen. Well, I wouldn't say an urgent letter. I wouldn't say, because your letter's not urgent. The care needs to be. So be careful where you put your adjectives. Who was diagnosed? Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, that's not bad at all. Christelle, lovely to have you with us. Well, presented on admission, you don't need to say both, Christelle. Presented with difficulty swallowing for 4 to 5 months. Good. On appearance, he appeared. No, he appeared. Why do we need on appearance? So yeah, don't use all those things on admission, on appearance. Absolutely no. We don't need all those silly things stuck in. Just cut to the chase, as the Americans say. Despite yet, nice one, Julio. Good. So I'm just reading them. I don't want to hold everybody up. Not bad at all, Daisy. Joanna. Yes, good one. All right, and Elizabeth. You're doing very well. Good. Oh my gosh. Why didn't you put them all in before? Where I had chance to read them. Now I want to move ahead. Okay, good. Don't forget, everybody, you know, your work, we can have a brief look at and make a brief comment in the live classes, but really to get to be, you know, to get that full one-to-one care, it's well worth thinking about tutorials, because this is the sort of thing we do. We can pick it through it, make sure it's all right each time. But anyway, I'm doing my best. Okay, Jenny, not bad. Everybody's done very well, really. Good on you. He reported malaise. Okay, Emilia, not reported of. Okay. I had another student in a tutorial who did that today. Funnily enough, interesting, isn't it? It must be your original language. I think, you know, you see different, let's say, mistakes or different expressions used by different nations because of that's how they say it in their language, and it's just that direct translation. So Mr. Brew was admitted on the 6th of July 2019 with, you see, simple, with an intense gnawing pain below his sternum and difficulty swallowing for the past 4 to 5 months. Full stop. He also reported a 10-kilo loss in weight over the past 6 months and weakness in routine activities. He now has a BMI of 18.5 and his appearance is malnourished and distressed. I like those two because they sort of match, having that very, very low BMI. You know, you can see that he's skinny, let's say, and we can talk about his appearance. So that's something you need to do. You know, when you're making your plan, you might have things, okay, like we've got here, sometimes use a spare piece of paper that you're given to sort of jiggle the things, get them combined, connected well before you put them on your main writing paper. I mean, it's not a good idea to write the whole letter and then rewrite it, absolutely not. But if you've got a sort of a loaded paragraph and you wanted to get it in concisely, as they like you to, and well organized, you know, and well combined, you need some time just to move it around and think, okay, that's much better there, that could go there. Makes all the difference, rather than putting it on the paper and then discovering afterwards that, oh yeah, it would have been better if I'd combined that with that. I find that a lot in the writings that I correct, you know, not good combinations. Okay, it's time is tight, but that pre-preparation of getting it well organized, well connected, does make a difference, definitely. So here is our whole letter. They've used "Dear Sir, Madam, thank you for taking over the care of Mr. Bruce." They use taking over, which you shouldn't really, because it's a phrasal verb. Anyway, yeah, who requires your evaluation and urgent treatment of his stage 3 esophageal cancer. Yeah, okay, we've got that one about that. Now, you see lots of little paragraphs. How much easier it is to read than having it all bulked together. So, he has gas reflux, which he treats with over-the-counter medication. Please note that Mr. Brew consumes approximately 60 cans of beer per week. So we've got those sort of things, what's going with his gastric bit. Then we've got the tests, including endoscopy, biopsy, and barium swallow tests have been carried out. okay, phrasal verb, but quite a serious one, indicating stage 3 cancer in the gastroesophageal junction. Epigastric tenderness on palpation was observed, and the results of all the tests are attached to this letter. Now that's fine. You might have also included that epigastric tenderness bit in your first, let's say, report, really, your first observations. It would have fitted beautifully there also, but it fits nicely there too. Now we've got the medication, his current medication, oxycodone, with the details, the dextrose plus water, administered intravenously as required. We request that you kindly provide Mr. Brew with, it's a funny name, seeing, you brew beer and stuff. I don't, yeah. Mr. Brew with ongoing care for his condition. Provides a good one. We're talking about care. His transfer will be by Seymour Ambulance Service. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any queries. Yours sincerely. So they've left the yours sincerely. So, that old way isn't life and death anymore. So take a photo, everybody, and, you can get some really good ideas. Thank you for some other people. Judith, I better look at yours. So you've got the same name as me. We don't, that's another thing they don't want you to do. And about being concise, we don't need to say a duration of about 4 months. Just say for 4 or 5 months. Okay, so we need to remove those wordy words. Okay. So, and reported weakness and a loss of 10 kilos. You don't need to say a loss of weight of 10 kilos, all right? Because 10 kilos is a loss of weight. So you're repeating yourself. Judith, I'm sure you will always go over the word count, all right? Not because you've included wrong information or irrelevant information, but you've been far too wordy. Okay, so I think you sort of put it twice. Okay, I've got it there. All righty. Oh, that's true. The father, you're right there, guys. Yes, the family history. Oh, thank you for that. It was so lovely. Wing, thank you for being so very observant. Very good idea, Trina. Trina just wants me to show the notes. Yes, so forget what we've done, forget our sample letter, and have a go yourselves. Okay, I've gone back too far. I just wanted to get it like that. So, there we go. Take a photo, take a screen print. Definitely, look, by tomorrow this time, the recorded version will be there. So you can always go back to the notes and see them there anyway. Yeah, so it's not a bit of them, not too bad. Okay, so you can always go back to the notes. You can see all the bits and pieces that we've done in the recorded class. So very, very useful. But it's better to join the live class if you can join us. I think it's much better. Now, we're just going to talk about modal verbs. Those are verbs that do not conjugate. They don't change as we, like in English, from the I, you, he, she, etc. So they just stay the same. It's not very difficult in English language anyway. We don't have much change in our verbs compared to a lot of other languages. But they don't change at all. But they're tricky all the way because they are, they mean different things. The same word can mean different things. And we can use different things for the same word. So it's sort of like a crisscross. It's a bit of a strange situation. But anyway, let's have a look. I would like to refer Mr. Bernstein, who requires, okay, that would, you could use it in the intro, you could use it in the request paragraph. Okay. I would I would be grateful, we usually say. Mr. Howard might have sustained minor whiplash, yes. Mrs. Schuler could not feel her fingertips, and Mrs. Wright may require an MRI. So we've got may and might, which are pretty similar. Okay, in this way. Sometimes it doesn't work, they're not similar. Okay, we've got could, which we use when we want to ask something politely, but here we're talking about ability. Of course, in the past, can, could. Okay, now, some modal verbs are commonly used for a specific context. Yes, you have to, and the opposite of have to, which is mustn't. Not you don't have to, funnily enough. We don't have to. So have to and must are pretty similar. There are, if you want to go into a few differences, but very slight. But the opposite of must is mustn't, but and then it means the opposite, but have to, its opposite, don't have to, means something completely different. So beware. Parents have to refrain, patients have to refrain from eating for 12 hours before surgery. You must not eat for 12 hours before your operation. Same thing. Have to refrain, must refrain from, or must not. Okay, now let's look at some more. These are both modal verbs used to express obligation. Okay, their meaning is effectively the same. So yeah, it's quite flexible. Let's have a look. So we've got the have to, must. We use it when we're talking about obligation. An example, children with asthma management plan have to bring their Ventolin inhalers with them on the bus. All visitors must report to reception. Can, could. You've got two ideas here. You can use them for permission, and we can use them for ability. If you can read the bottom line, you don't need glasses. So that is ability, of course. Mrs. Jones could not breathe without the help of a respirator. So that is also ability. But we could say, can I, could you? Yes, can I leave the room? Okay, so we're asking for permission or giving it, yes, you can. Should, and that's the only one with another word, which is ought to, which we use when we want to make a suggestion. We're advising someone. You shouldn't go into the ocean too soon after drinking alcohol. These pills ought to make you feel better within 30 minutes. Will and would, well, it's a request. And we also talk about capability. It would be greatly appreciated if, so a polite way, the test will prove whether the cancer has spread or not. So its ability to do something. May or might, which we saw before, probability and permission, more polite than can. May I leave the room? Can I leave the room? May is might, is a lot more, let's say, polite. But we wouldn't say might I. You see, so sometimes they mean the same thing, but they can't always be used in this, in exchange for each other. So it's a funny old world. The A&E might not be able to handle the number of casualties from the coach crash. So it's a matter of probability there. May we adjust her medication to a lower dosage? We're asking permission. Yes, you may. Okay, now you can take a photo of that if anybody would like. It's quite useful, and sort of things that we use every day. Let's have a go. We've got 3 questions here. We've got the modals down here for your help, and I'm going to give you 2 minutes to have a go at it. Open the chat line. Yes, Kumal, you are very right about that, about the family history. I'm sure we should have popped it in, that his father was also, a cancer victim. Funny they you said that, because we did choose them in the things. Anyway, good. Oh, careful, make sure you put them in the right format, please. Okay. And there are various ones, you know, it's quite different ones that are okay. So, you know, don't be worried if someone, you put something and someone else has put something else. Don't worry at all. It's everybody on YouTube, but really doing amazing work today. I'm just reading them quickly, very, very quickly, but don't forget, if by next week you actually, you've signed up to E2 language and it's free, we will be able to see your ideas online. So everybody, thank you for all the work there. As I said, I can see a wide variety. Now, what we've got here, the surgeon must perform the operation, or we could put has to perform. Okay, we could even put should. Okay, to save the patient's life. So, unfortunately, we could not find a suitable donor. Well, I don't think there's another one of that one. So we had to, that obligation was the only way. We can't use must, because must, there is no past tense. So if we have a must, which is okay in the simple tense, the present tense, if we're looking for the past tense, we have to go back to have, and then that conjugates. So we had to contact our colleagues in the neighboring hospital, who told us they would try to help us. Okay, that was there, talk about their capability, or in the future what they were going to do. While Mr. Singh may feel a little dizzy, his hypertension will be better controlled now that he can measure his own BP. So he may, or he might, we could even use could, well, Mr. could feel a little, his hypertension will be better controlled now that he can, or yeah, that's it. Can is, well, we're stuck then. Thanks everybody, but you understand they are pretty flexible, but not completely flexible. That's the thing. Now, just a quick reminder for the Power Package people, you can join whenever you like. It's a 4-week study plan. There's no beginning or end, but each week we have the challenges, and this one finishes tonight. So starting Monday morning, anytime, you will have a new one for next week, and there will always be prizes. So do it, it's fun. Just some great ideas for where to look for help. Of course, you've got your student portal page. We've got the OET and the E2 language YouTube page, absolutely full of fascinating and interesting information. We've got our blog, which is lots and lots of things. You know, just go in there. You can go into the search and search for things that you're interested in. We've got the E2 School, which is free to join if you're a member of E2 language. If you want to focus on your grammar and really brush up your grammar, we do have, of course, core skills and grammar lessons here too. But if you want to go a little bit more deeper, you can find it on that, there too. Yes. Oh, thank you, Trina. Thank you. I'm glad everybody has learned something today. It's always a pleasure, guys, working with you, because you make so much effort, and it makes my life and my job so much easier. So I'm going to be looking forward, if not before, in a mini mock test or in a tutorial or something. Looking forward to seeing you all on Wednesday. It's always an hour earlier than the Sunday class for those who are here, there, and everywhere. It's an hour earlier. It's not a free class. You've got to be a paid up member to join it. And don't forget, if you do miss any of the classes, you can watch them. There's only one mock test, Joanna, available, darling, at the moment. I know we're planning to produce a second one, but we've been working on a lot of different things at the moment. So, but if you're going to be with us for a while, there will always be more and more information available, and more material. I know they're preparing new material for the student website, so that's really great. Okay, and hopefully you'll be able to keep going, keep that interest up, and it won't be long before you can take your exam. I know a lot of people have had even more changes this week, so it's sort of tough, isn't it? But guys, see you on Wednesday, and really have a great week, a great weekend. Anybody who's in Perth, just stay inside. The others who can go outside, go out now that you're finally allowed. If you're not, stay inside and be safe. Bye, everybody, and look forward to seeing you very, very soon.